Let's talk about personal finance. First, the driving question and the lesson objectives. Driving question: how can understanding economic theories enhance personal financial decision making? And your four objectives: define key terms related to personal finance, such as budgeting, investing, debt, and financial literacy. Understand the principles of budgeting, saving, investing, and debt management. Recognize the importance of financial literacy in making informed financial decisions. And apply economic concepts like scarcity, opportunity cost, utility maximization to personal finance management. The basics of budgeting. So, budgeting is crucial for effective financial management. What is it? You create a plan to track your income, how much money you're bringing in, and to allocate funds or decide where you're going to put the money for the things that you spend money on, your expenses, and your savings. Basically, it's a plan for how you're going to use the money you make, where you're going to allocate your funds. What expenses do you have that are fixed, and how much are you going to save? All of these play into a budget. So, the practice of budgeting helps you manage your money efficiently and ensures that you live within your means. If you create a budget, you are less likely to spend more than you make. Spending more money than you make means you owe someone money for that money you spent. And if you get into that debt, which is owing someone money, then you're going to have to pay interest on that debt and you'll end up spending more paying off debt than you would have if you just had the money in the first place. Saving versus investing. We've talked about what investing is. Saving provides security if you're putting money away for something that you might need later. So saving provides security for immediate or short-term needs, and it builds a foundation for future financial health. Investing, on the other hand, focuses on growing the wealth over time. So the purpose of saving is to set aside money for later. The purpose of investing can also be money for later, but the purpose is more to grow that money and build it and have it get bigger over time. Optimizing your financial resources through investment vehicles. Investment vehicles is just a fancy term for where you're putting that money and where it will grow. So, a stock is when you buy a piece of a company. We talked about government bonds, which is similar. You're paying someone, and in return for that loan that you're giving them, they'll they'll give it back to you, and you'll receive more money. So, stocks and bonds, depending on what you're investing in and who you're giving money to, will hopefully grow. There's a chance that they will get less value, meaning that you'll lose money. So when you are choosing where to put your money, it's best to analyze how likely you are to get more money in the future. You can also invest in real estate. Real estate is land. If you buy land, it's likely it will be worth more in the future, but it's not guaranteed. So investing involves risk. Let's look at some principles of managing debt. So, debt is when you owe money to someone. It can be a useful tool if you manage it wisely, but it is important to understand how it's going to be working. If you don't know what you're getting into and you don't know how you're going to get out of something or how you're going to pay for something, it can get away from you pretty fast. So, you have to understand terms like interest rates, keep up with repayment schedules. You can manage your debt responsibly and ensure you can leverage your credit without jeopardizing your financial stability. So, here's an example of how debt can be useful. If you want to buy a home, it is likely you don't have the money in the bank to buy the home. Most people have to take out a loan to pay for the house. And that means for the next 15 or 30 years, they'll be paying back that loan. But while they're paying it back, they can live in the house. So, debt can be useful because it can help you get a home. But if you are not able to pay it back on the schedule that was determined, it can be dangerous to be in debt. So, financial literacy. Literacy is your how much you know about something. How literate are you? So, financial literacy is your ability to understand and use various financial skills effectively. So, your ability to budget well is you being financially literate. This includes personal finance management, budgeting, investing. If you are good at that and you know what you're doing, you are financially literate. It's crucial for making informed financial decisions and achieving long term stability. If you want to grow your money, if you want to manage your money well, if you want to use your money efficiently, you should learn the principles of saving, investing, and budgeting personally so you can prepare for things that you might not expect in the future, or you can prepare for big purchases in the future. Let's apply some economic theories to finance. So, we've talked about concepts like scarcity, opportunity cost, utility maximization. We talked about what utility is, we talked about marginal utility, your satisfaction. How are those applicable to your personal finance and the way you personally handle money? So, these principles guide your decisions. It guides anything from choosing where you're going to put your money to savings to retirement to what you spend your money on and those types of things. So, scarcity, opportunity cost, and utility are all economic theories that apply to personal finance. More things to know: allocation of your assets and liquidity. An asset is something that is worth something. An asset adds to your wealth. If you own a property, if you own a house, that is usually an asset. If it is something that makes you money or is worth a lot of money, it's an asset. If it costs you money, so a house could also cost you money if you have to constantly repair it. If you have a lot of debt on that house, it can be what's called a liability. An asset is something that's worth something, a liability is something that costs you something. So, we'll talk about liquidity in a second. So, diversifying your investments or putting your money in different places, not putting all of your money into one thing and hoping that that makes you money, is a smart way to go in terms of financial literacy. Understanding the understanding liquidity. Liquidity is how quickly can you turn that asset into cash. If you own a home, it is likely you won't be able to sell it in one day. It's not a quick turnover. It's not very liquid. However, if you have something that you can quickly turn into cash and use, that means it's a liquid asset. So, understanding that and understanding how to diversify, these are key to effective financial planning. Allocating your assets helps balance risk and reward in your investment portfolio. Your investment portfolio is where you're putting your investments, while liquidity ensures you can access funds when you need them. Net worth is your financial health barometer. Basically, it tells you how much money you are worth. And that might seem like you have worth other than the money you make, but in terms of net worth, it looks at how much money you're worth. So this is calculated by all the things that have value that you own. So this can be a house, it can be a car, but you have to minus liabilities. And this might sound heartless, but children are liabilities. Children cost money. Children usually don't make you money. So, while children can add to you emotionally and provide you with love, children are liabilities. So, they cost you money. So, to calculate how much money you're worth, you add up all the things that are worth money that you own, and you minus or subtract all the things that are liabilities or cost you money, and that is your net worth. So, increasing your net worth over time is crucial for long term financial security, and it is a fundamental goal of personal finance. You want to increase your net worth because then you are more stable and you can plan for things that maybe you didn't expect. Let's reflect. How might improving your financial literacy influence your personal and professional life? Think about a financial decision you made in the past, what something that you bought. How could the principles learned today have improved your decision?